Hello and good day. Shooting a video today talking about my Honda Insight Generation 1. Once again, have not featured this car in a video in a while, and this is kind of the 4-year anniversary of me owning these. So this is my blue 2003 5-speed Gen 1 Insight, Honda Insight Hybrid. And I have owned 5 of these in the last 4 years, and kind of coming up on that anniversary of having these now for 4 years, I thought it would be cool to just leave another review and some thoughts, just as, you know, I've been driving around kind of realizing I hit the 4-year mark, and I've got a lot of videos on this car and my other cars, my other Insights on this channel. So if you're catching this and you want to learn more, you can check that out. But this video is just going to be a short kind of, again, 4 years of ownership, owning 5 of these, doing a lot of repair and maintenance and enjoying what's good about them. So what I thought the format I would do is 7 things that I thought of, just kind of going through categories of things I love about this car. So I'm going to run through those. The first thing I do want to say, though, kind of as an introduction, is there is one thing about these cars I don't like. So I'll start with that, and that will be the quirky nature of these cars. So because these cars are rare, parts are hard to find, parts availability is difficult. And the other thing about these cars is you really have to be your own mechanic. I have heard stories and have people in my life who are Honda certified mechanics who will not work on these, either because it's just so much time wasted in diagnosis and parts are not available for these cars. So for that reason, a lot of people stay away from these, and even people that know what they're doing, getting parts is sometimes difficult or impossible. You have to, again, there's a lot of modification that's needed to keep these on the road. And kind of the word on the street and the community is that you have to really be your own mechanic. And that really is true. And, because of these YouTube videos, I've got thousands and thousands of views and met dozens of people through them who are looking for insights. And I always try to tell people you really need to know what you're getting into if you're going to get one, because you really have to be willing to be your own mechanic, or you're just buying a paperweight. So having said that, that is kind of the one, no risk, no reward. That's the price you're going to pay if you want to get one of these. But if you can overcome that and deal with it, as I have, 7 things I love. So the first one is that this is a unique and rare vehicle. There only were 17,000 of these made, and from 2000 to 2006. And so there's only a few thousand left even on the road, and you hardly ever see them. I live in a fairly decent sized town, and I think there's only 3, including mine, in this town. And that's fun, you feel happy about your life that you're driving around. If you have a manual, in a manual transmission hybrid car, the first one imported to America, that at the time had, some of the top figures in terms of drag coefficient and fuel economy. And so, it's a nice conversation piece, and people just don't know what these are. About a month or 2 ago, I was in a parking lot of a grocery store, and this lady walked out, and she was parked next to me, and she saw me get out of it, and she said something like, "Is that the new electric car?" And, so the fact that people think this is a new electric car versus saying, no, it's actually a 25-year-old hybrid, it's a unique thing. Second thing I love about it is the looks. I just can't get over how cool these look. It's kind of a love or hate thing. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it's beautiful, but just the lines, the teardrop shape, the wheel spats that cover the back wheels, no expense spared in the design, trying to make the car look or be as fuel efficient as possible. So there's nothing else that looks like this. And mine is looking particularly good right now. I did just polish it with my orbital buffer, and I keep it covered. Of course, the headlights are good. The rims are in really good shape. So I have a particularly good example here. The back side of this was also repainted, previous owner. So this is a very good looking one. So not only does it look good, but this is a good looking one. Spoiler's been redone. Stickers are new, have the custom plate, and a lot of little other additions like that spoiler there, the shorty antenna, and the trim, the pinstripe I added. So But it's a good looking car. Again, very different. Third thing I love about this is the comfort. This is such a comfortable car. And people, again, they see this and how little it is. And I've had people say, how do you fit in that? I'm 6'2". I fit great in this car. The trunk is huge. I'm a musician, so I fit a full-size dreadnought guitar, a hammered dulcimer, and a hammered dulcimer stand, which is not small. All three in the back of here easily. You can fit several pieces of large luggage. There's just a ton of cargo room. There really is. And I've seen people fit bicycles and stuff in these. And then the cabin is just really roomy. Again, it's an incredibly roomy car. You get in and there's just so much leg room. Again, I'm tall and spindly, but I have tons of room. Just the cabin, the passenger side, there's so much room to stretch around, to move around. The visibility is excellent in this car. Get that extra back window there. And the air conditioning is freezing cold in this car. And of course, you're like, well, any air conditioning is going to be cold. But the fact that the cabin is so small makes the efficiency of the air conditioning system is just out of this world. Fourth thing is that these are reliable. Now, yeah, I did say they're quirky and they have issues, but if you can get past that, there's a few little things about these cars that tend to, cause problems. This auto down switch sometimes breaks. The trunk latch is often breaks. The transmissions are fragile in glass and have to be rebuilt around 200,000 miles. But having said that, this is one of those cars, again, I've owned 5 of them. You can get in the car and you just feel and you know that it's going to make it. And that's kind of a ethereal thing to say, but I've owned 40 or 50 cars in my life. And, Hondas and Toyotas just feel, there's something you feel about it. And again, that's kind of a very subjective thing. But it's reliable. Like I said, this car, the one I'm driving, is 23 years old. It has 233,000 miles, and it's just solid. And, on these cars, aside from those quirks I mentioned, things just don't break. And I've had, it's been proven very reliable. There's one of these driving around the West Coast. I saw a post not long ago. It has 970,000 miles. And it's still rolling around. So go Honda, reliability. Let's turn her on. And fifth thing to mention is just fuel economy. Again, that's why people buy these. That was kind of why the big deal that when it came out 25 years ago. You can see I'm sporting 61 around town right now. That's with Georgia 97-degree heat and air conditioning on full blast. My average here since I've owned this is 74. So you might look back in my videos a couple months ago, I hit a new record, which was 82 miles per gallon over a full 10-gallon tank. But that's how my average is so high. That's my current tank though, 61. That's, the EPA on this was 61 city, 70 highway. It's a nice day actually, so I'm going to roll the window down. But the fuel economy is just fantastic. You can, I can get 800 miles to a tank on this car. And what else what other car can you drive from, Georgia to Chicago on one tank without stopping? I don't know that there's any car, there's no electric car certainly, that would do that. So the economy is great. Number 6th thing I love about this car is it is so freaking fun. This is probably the thing more than anything that has caused me to just stay in this platform. It's not fast, but I'll just accelerate here. Of course, I am shifting, so pardon me, but second gear here, I'm gonna do a little pull. 3, 2, 1, full blast. Now, again, it's not a fast car by any means. And I'll roll this window up because you might be struggling to hear me. It's not a fast car by any means, but the sense of speed, the fact that it weighs 1,800 pounds, the sense of speed is just wonderful. The feeling of the gas working with the hybrid, the electric motor. So, the 0 to 60 in these cars was around 10 seconds out of the In the beginning, this car with lithium and a few other modifications to the software, it's probably 0 to 60 in 9 seconds, which is not fast. But I will say the 0 to like 40 or 45 miles per hour, which is most city driving, is quite quick. And you're just in second gear all the way to 70 miles per hour. Again, I'm still in second gear, only 3,000 miles per RPMs, 40, and I'm flooring it now. Full assist, I'm already up to 60. So it's not fast. It's, not sports car here by any means, but you really do get a sensation of speed. And I think, if you time this car, it would go 0 to 40, 45, from a light to the speed limit in about 3.5 or 4 seconds, which really is quick. So I'm not in any way saying this is a fast car, but what I am saying is it has punch when you want it, and it is just so much fun. And again, you can go to 70 miles per hour in second gear, which is just insane. And I'll also say, just because the car is so lightweight, it's made of plastic, it's so nimble. Does it handle like on rails? No. But it is so fun. The steering is so tight and responsive. The smallest little movements you make move the car, and you just feel everything, and there's something wonderful about it. It's a lot like my CRX. And so that fun nature is what's kept me back to this. Another thing I'll mention when we talk about fun is just the turning radius. You can just get in a parking lot and just do circles. It is such a small car with such a tight turning radius, which just makes it so fun to drive. And you just feel, connected. You feel so connected to everything in this car, and it's so much fun. Nothing like it. My wife, when she got in one of these for the first time with me, she typically doesn't want to drive in my experimental cars, and probably for good reasons, but as I say experimental, just showing that all my data readouts for all my tech that we've added to this car. But my wife sat down and we got, going about 50 miles per hour, and she didn't say anything. And then, she's like, well, okay, I get it now. This is like a toy for you. And that's how this car feels. It feels like a kid car that you put together. And, again, here's a little pull in second gear. So much fun. Just so much fun to drive this car. And the last thing I'll mention, 7th reason why I love the Honda Insight is just this kind of, is an encapsulation of everything I've just said, but it's just an uncompromising car. And you know that when you drive it. There is nothing like this car. There's just nothing like it. And it's so uncompromising. You can tell the way it looks, the way it drives, the things it does, the things it doesn't do. It was built to be an uncompromising, fuel-efficient machine, and it absolutely is that. And you can just, you feel it, the way it steers, the way it accelerates, the way it doesn't do certain things. The lack of comfort in terms of like suspension quality is not great, but that's kind of part of the charm of it. And so driving something that was built, again, in the same factory as the NSX and the S2000 in very limited quantities, and, really is a cult classic vehicle, you feel that, and there's something very special about driving something that, it's not an appliance. It's not just something that people just threw out there. It was made incredibly purpose-built, no expense spared. Honda lost money on every one of these that they made. And to this day, just driving it is an absolute pleasure. Of all the cars I've had, you look at my channel, I've probably featured 20 or 25 cars. This still remains the most fun and rewarding, and it's my favorite one to get the keys and go drive among all the other I've had some really nice cars. And I would just add, you go to a Honda museum, there's a lot of cars in there, but there's a lot of cars you don't see. But there's always a Gen 1 Prelude in the 100 museums. So that says something. Hey, thanks for watching. Would love your comments on the Gen 1 Insight if you have them. Hope this review has been helpful, and peace to you. God bless you. Take care. See you in the next video.